All right, man, let's talk. So Devin Haney put out a tweet saying that Brian Norman Jr. will probably price himself out in a potential fight between one of them and Brian Norman Jr. has been talking since he had his fight in Japan with Jin Saki. I seen his father was did a video with BT at True School Sports. They even called out Andy Hiroka, which I think is one of the best kept secrets in boxing. But he knocked out Jin Saki, but that was at 140. I think Norman Jr. and Haney is a bad fight for Devin Haney, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a bad fight. He would have to box Brian Norman Jr. And I know a lot of people, kind of look at Brian Norman Jr. as raw. He had some performances that, was erratic, and it was something they looked really, really bad in. And then when it counted for the title, it was the interim title at the time, but when it counted versus title versus old buddy, the Mexican, Centilina or whatever, man, he showed up and showed out in that fight. They brought him there to lose. That, Centilina fight, he had beat up that Mexican that beat up Blair Cobb. He was there, he came there to lose. And I feel like they was going to cut him. Had Norman lost that fight, they was going to cut him. And, man, he went into, I think they fought in San Diego. He went into that man backyard and put hands, foot, and toes on him, bro. Yes, sir. He went in there and put hands, foot, and toes on him. So, I mean, he already been through adversity. I mean, your own promoter trying to set you up to lose. I mean, what more adversity do you need? And they put you in the Mexican, basically Mexico, for that fight. And they came, saw, and they conquered. So Norman is one of those rugged guys. Especially if you're a guy that ain't like really, familiar with the weight, or you ain't, dude, he gets stronger as the fight go on. His conditioning is on point. From what I be seeing, and people talk about his defense, I don't think his defense is the problem. I just think I think he has a focus issue. There's a lack of focus there sometimes. Because I've seen him be defensive, and move his head. I just think he just is focused. I don't think it's thinking too much offense. But Haney would have to really outbox him or really attack that kid's body to slow him down. You know what I'm saying? I just think when you fighting a guy like Norman, who learned to use that jab big and strong, he going to try to close that gap on Dev, and Dev going to have to box. Now, if Dev stick and move like he did versus Jose Ramirez, and he able to add some sauce on there, I think he could pull it off. I think Dev ain't no small guy, rangy guy. I think he kind of more of a top-heavy variety of fighters, but I think Dev would really have to put it together, touch him to the body. But when you fighting rough, rugged Southern dogs, he gonna have to outstyle them. Yeah, he gonna have to outbox him. But at some point you gotta hurt a Norman Jr. You gotta hurt him. I think that'll more preferably be to the body. But anytime you put a guy like that in there that's gonna close that gap on you, he might, and like I said, Dev very may well could outbox him. It's one of those fights. It's like, okay, if Dev outbox him, kind of like, I'm not surprised. He was supposed to do that, but Jesus Christ, if it turned into a fight or Norman Jr. is able to close that gap, really for Dev, the reward is the title. It was some rumors that he was kind of interested in going after the great Manny Pacquiao at one point. But, it kind of fell through. So, I mean, shit, sign me up. I'll watch it. You know what I'm saying? If he's trying to get into Pacquiao sweepstakes or the Barrio sweepstakes, I mean, his dad was saying Jerron Boots in his name. Most people didn't take it serious. I mean, they wasn't taking Teofimo serious, but he wanted to fight, and they didn't want to fight. They started screaming about the weight. When the block got hot, I mean, people got mad. They get mad because I'm consistent, whether it's Boots or, Teofimo. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I think people just want me to cape or cap for people because that's who they like. See, I'm not a trauma bond channel. You know what I'm saying? If I'm talking bad about Terrence, then he go all the Terrence haters. You know what I'm saying? But it's not bad. It just come from an objective standpoint of view. But if I pick Canelo to beat Terrence, then the Terrence fans mad at me. But I say the truth about Canelo, then they like I'm not about to kiss nobody's ass. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm just being real. But you know, for Dev, the reward is the title. You know, but then what? You know, do you look to Barrios fight you? Pacquiao fight you? You know, Rolly already said he wouldn't fight you. You know, it's the 2 belts up for grab. We'll see what happened with the IBF and the WBC. I mean, the IBF and the WBA. I mean, shit, what's the end game? But the beginning game is a good fight for the fans. You know, both daddies talk shit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I think the Haneys is desperate for a fight. They like money, so they don't want to take a step backwards. If they got to take a step, you know, in the, you know, going the same way, then they cool with that. They don't want to take no lateral. So I think they thirsty for a fight. I think most of the fights on the table, they not considered big fights. Even the Tia female fight, you know, is that really a massive fight? But I think it's a step in the right direction. Hitchison fight, you know, I mean, it's all right. I mean, I don't think nobody really looking forward to it. The Norman fight, I think that's a great internet fight, you know, because of the talk between Bill and Brian Norman Sr. and stuff of that nature. Then yeah. But as far as in the real world, as it can be, I think it's a good style fight. Anytime you put a guy like Norman who's starting to put it all together, he like to come forward and bang. I like it. Do it for the culture, my Charlie. I like it though. It's a good fight in Atlanta. You know, Devin Haney kind of cut his teeth down there. I think he had some fights, you know, when they was, you know, before they signed to a major promoter in Atlanta. So that's a good Atlanta fight for everybody, the mob too, the brothers, and I support that. You know, I support it. I like Brian Norman Sr. You know, type of dude, you know, shit, get some brews, he pop some shit. Hell yeah. So I'm a shit popper. But I said before, do it. And I ain't deterring nobody. That make a lot of sense. You know, Boots, you know, I don't blame Boots for shaking the spot, though. You don't hear no excuses. I wasn't even at 100% physically. I feel him. Hey, look here, man. If I ain't going to be able to unify these belts, you know what I'm saying? If I ain't going to get all, I ain't about to stress myself. Now, if I got them all signed, if I fight Barrios, Pacquiao, and Norman consecutively or back-to-back, whatever you want to say, cool. Sign me up then. I'll break the way, but I ain't about to be, I got to fight this mandatory, do this. I ain't got time for that shit. Carry the one, do this. I feel him on that. I feel him. So, yeah, Norman and Haney, kind of fight that wasn't on my bingo card, but I'll take it. You know, Norman, and they went over, you know, people criticizing them for going to fight Jen Psaki. So what? 23 years old, came off a hand injury, you know, got a quick tune-up, and then they turn around and fight Jen Psaki. They're going to get paid to go to Japan. You know, hopefully it don't go wrong, but shit, fuck it. You know, it's funny how they got a lot of smoke for when black fighters do stuff, especially the ones they don't like. Do it when everybody else do it, it's cool. You know, they always trying to write these disparaging comments and make these crazy videos about when black fighters do something. So what if he do it? Raimondo Mortella got a belt for nothing. Talk about that bullshit. You know? Shit, I mean, ain't nobody really tripping. A lot of fuck shit going on in boxing. You know? A bunch of fuck shit going on in boxing. First it was, you know, they wanted to fight Ennis and then wanted to fight them, and then you got to sign the contract. It was a bunch of bullshit. We've seen all these rendezvous go wrong in the sport. So I don't blame them for waiting. But Haney and Norman, let's do it. People forget Norman seemed like he can go up a weight class or two. So, like he said, Boots going up to junior middleweight all the way as far as middleweight. Shout out to Dog. They want to get all the belts at junior middleweight. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But Devin Haney and Norman, shit, black excellence is exactly what I said, man. Black fighters should fight black fighters. Fuck everybody else. They should freeze out Tia Female Lopez and make money with each other. Why not? That's what I like to see. Make money with it with yourselves. You know, stack y'all bread. I guarantee if y'all all the black fighters just broke bread with each other, the motherfuckers would be complaining. They be watching that shit more than they watching Mexicans fight each other. That's what this whole thing. Oh, God's running this, that. No matter what we do, box, stick, and move. Y'all want to dress like us, fight like us. It don't even fucking matter. Y'all can have an all-action league and take everybody with you and let the black fighters have their own league. Y'all still gonna watch the black fighters, and that's on my mama. Y'all know what it is, man. But thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and the subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live with our video. Hit the link in the description. Follow me on X, Instagram, Spotify. Join the Patreon, X, Free Game 89, Detroit channel, the whole nine. Peace.